Okay, so Assalamualaikum everybody, Shujaiman here, I Technovate as you know. So in the recent days I've been getting a lot of questions about how to become a female commercial pilot in Pakistan, if there's any difference, what is the scope, what are the job opportunities, etc. I myself do not believe that I'm in a capable position to actually talk about that, because the experience of being a female pilot can only be told by a female pilot itself. So today we have a very special guest with us. We have Qaswa Mubarak. She's done her CPL IR recently from Hybrid Aviation Lahore, and now she's doing her flight instructor course. So first of all, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
First questions first, how did you start your flight?
How did I start my flying? It goes back to like 3 years ago. I joined Askari Aviation initially and completed my ground school from Askari. Then afterwards I went to hybrid for my flying. And yeah, it's been 3 years and I'm done with it.
So how was your experience just become a pilot?
It's like a daily struggle, to be very honest. You can relate to it. It just polishes your patience every day.
It is. So we know that, like, because you and I know, the process to become a commercial pilot is very simple. You just do your intermediate. There's no specific requirement. You join a flying club and you join. Is the process any different for females, or is it the same?
It's the same. This is also a common misconception that I would like to correct over here. A lot of female pilots, like girls who want to be female pilots, think that their eyesight or their height is going to matter in the medical. It does not matter, both of these things.
Yes, I know. Okay. And another question that somebody asked me to ask you, how did you manage to convince your parents to become a pilot?
Well, this is a funny story. I was a pre-medical student.
Back in same here. I was also pre-medical.
So the shift from pre-medical, joining like a medical school, to like becoming a pilot was huge for my parents. They took their time, and actually the day my father went to a flying club for the first time, that was the day that like changed everything for me.
Sure, that's great. So during your CPL, because I know personally that there are a lack of female pilots in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
So did you face any discrimination or a separate way during flying, or something that you might have felt was a bit awkward, or you might have gone to advantage or something?
Let's like clear a few things over here. Not in hybrid aviation, not once have I.
No, generally in the aviation.
Generally in the aviation, initially I think when I was naive myself, I maybe was too sensitive and thought of it as discrimination, and maybe it wasn't. But throughout my aviation career, I would say everyone is very professional and they treat you equally.
And they're supportive.
They're very supportive, yeah.
That's great. So, as I mentioned, you're doing your flight instructor course.
Yes.
Any other further plans apart from that?
I'm planning to like join PIA as everybody else over here, but let's hope they actually take us.
So that's hopefully yes, they will take us. So a general thing that we see, there are lack of female instructors in Pakistan. I've heard there's one in Karachi or two in Karachi Aero Club. I've heard there's one in hybrid. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
And that's about it. In Pakistan, that is the female. I think there's also one in Aviation. I'm not sure about that. So why is there a lack of instructors in Pakistan?
Well, there isn't any in Aerial. There's one in hybrid. She's our teacher. And there's one in Karachi. So there are like two in total.
Two in the entire Pakistan. That's a very like small number.
Yes, that's a very small number for aviation.
Yes.
There was this one crash, if you might know about it, back in like 5 years ago in hybrid aviation. A female instructor pilot died in that crash.
Yes, I know.
That was a major reason my own parents and like people around us hesitate, because like they judge your skills based on being like your.
That is a thing that is common nowadays.
Yeah. So I think being an instructor doesn't pay off the same while you're a girl, because students aren't as comfortable to fly with you.
But like I've also talked to some instructors who have been teaching female students in our club ourselves. They also they have always told me there's always a gap of learning, because there are some things that you can't teach a male can't teach a female in the same way a female can teach a female. And similarly, I just simply say like if a male instructor tells a student off, sometimes in some state of minds that can be considered as harassment if the student like off. So that's a major gap, I think, that should be covered.
That should be covered. I think it can only be covered if there's like this both gender instructors available.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I see ratio increasing gradually. Like there are more female pilots coming into aviation, so that does require more instructors as well, female instructors. the major reason I'm becoming stuck.
So that's great. So coming to the thing, female pilots are increasing, but there's still a lack. Like in my club, I can tell myself we are around 30 or 35 male pilots, and there are 5 or 6 female pilots.
Yes.
So in a ratio that comes to around 5:1 or 6:1. So like 6 male pilots and 1 female pilot, you can already see the difference. So why is there so much of a difference? Why aren't females joining this?
Not just in aviation, in Pakistan, it's like globally 5.1% globally there are like female pilots only, and the other 94.8% are male. So yeah, that does exist. I think the major reason is patriarchy, and it goes back to a lot of things.
But still, like I think there's a bit of a more good ratio of female pilots abroad than in Pakistan.
True.
Because our
Society,
system and
yeah.
society and everything. Coming back, what are the job opportunities? Like just a recent example for you guys. In 2017, a PIA ad came, which PIA is a government institution. So PIA जब hiring करती है, तो PIA has to follow a certain quota system. Now that quota system includes some people on merit, some from Sindh, Punjab, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and the government quota system also needs to include a specific percentage for women pilots. ठीक है? What happened in that ad कि women pilots का percentage नहीं include हुआ था, which Qaswa is most probably aware of the fact. So what happened is one female pilot, I think it's a good step, but she stood up for the fact that the quota wasn't included, and that case went to Lahore High Court. I think it also went to Supreme Court. What happened is Supreme Court placed a ban on hiring in PIA directly as a consequence of that quota system and the fact that they believe that there is an excess of pilots in PIA, which through personal links I've got to know there is a lack of pilots in Pakistan in PIA right now. So the thing is that there is a specific issue that maybe job opportunities are not present, which a lot of people also want to know. Okay, is there any difference between the job opportunities for males and females in the aviation industry?
I would say there is a difference, as you know as well. There's this new rule of like 4 lakh discount to female pilots, just to like promote more female pilots in Pakistan. Except that I've heard the new quota is going to include like 25% of quota just going to females in total. That is going to help us get a job. Yet I think the merit should remain. Like, it's my personal opinion that there should be no quota.
But still, then that's the same there. So another question from us Instagram follower of mine, Sala. She was asking, is university important?
Well, personally speaking, I haven't attended a university, but I would say it is the most important thing. That is something I regret, wasting my 3 years and not going to university side by side.
And another question for same, is it too much isolation from your family? Well, I guess this will be a question more on the airline level of an airline pilot as opposed to us as a general aviation pilot, but still like your general.
Personally, I've been living in Lahore independently for like 2.5 years now, and my family lives in Islamabad, so that is a lot of isolation from family.
Okay, so if you had the chance to promote aviation amongst infants, which I know you've been doing personally, but if you were like wanted to recommend somebody to join flying, would you, as a female?
Obviously I would. I think the ratio can only be covered if like more female pilots are there in the first place. I promote every like girl who dreams to be a pilot to go for it, to give it a shot once at least.
And last, any future advice for prospective female cadets in Pakistan?
Stay patient. Stay as patient as you can. It's gonna test your patience every single day, but you're gonna do it. We all did.
Yes, because I know, especially in Lahore, there's a lot of weather issues, there's club issues, there's aircraft issues and everything.
So many factors.
So you have to remain very patient. Especially like your stamina has to be there, and you have to control your anger. That is one thing that I feel. You can, if you get angry on anybody in this industry, that's ultimately going to cause you to lose your license or something.
And that temper is going to stick till the end. That reputation is going to stick till the end.
It's the same as Qaswa was saying. They judge pilots on their actions. If you throughout your career, like till now, I've been recording. We record our number of landings after each flight. So I have 482 landings till today. So out of those 482 landings, if one were to go bad and something would happen to that aircraft on that one landing, I would be judged for my entire career on that one landing. And that's a very disadvantage, but I think then it also pursues you to go for excellence in everything, which is specifically necessary in this aviation industry.
It's like an everyday competition with yourself.
And there's so much competition now. Like I was saying, in our club, the latest batch has 7 students. I was hearing from another club, their batch has 12 students.
Oh.
So like if I imagine that 60 pilots are coming out of Pakistan this year. There's a lack of jobs. There's so many lack of jobs right now.
Hire only 25 pilots after 2 years.
I don't know where's everybody going to go, but in the end, that's why I also promote the thing. Do your university, do your graduation, have a good backup plan. That's both for males and females. Don't think I'm just recommending that for females. Do your graduation, that is very important. But Khair, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. This is a new format I've been testing out. I don't know if you like this stuff or not, if you find this informative, but if you do, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Last thing, I tried to cover your questions, whichever you asked me to ask Qaswa, but if you have any more questions, Qaswa is on Instagram. She has her public page, which is at Voguing with Wings. I'll leave the ID somewhere here and in the description below, so you can contact her. I hope you won't have any issue with that. Sure. So if you have any questions, just contact her. She'll be glad to help you out. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Inshallah, more videos soon. Thank you.
Hafiz.